Let's go to a team that broke my heart during the NFL draft. Because this team, they had the 8th overall pick. And if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, I want to know right now, what do you think about the Michael Penix pick? You just paid Kirk Cousins $180 million. And then you go out and with the number 8 overall pick in the NFL draft, you get pretty much his replacement down the road. When you had players like a Dallas Turner, who you could definitely have used, or, other guys who were definitely there for the taking. And I want to know what your guys' thought. But as a Tampa guy and as a Washington Husky fan, it broke my heart to see the rival of my favorite NFL team pick him up because now I have to root against him. I have to. I can't root for this guy's success because his success means that Atlanta is doing successful, and I don't want that as a Tampa fan because it's finally been a good stretch of years to be a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, and I just don't want to let it go yet. I'm not ready to let go of that feeling. But the Atlanta Falcons, they go out, they pay Kirk Cousins, they bring in Raheem Morris. And Raheem Morris, as a Tampa fan, not a lot of people like him. But he's had time to grow. He's had time. He was over there in Los Angeles. He ran the defense over there. And that defense recorded the 4th best red zone efficiency rating and the 7th fewest rushing yards per game in the NFL. It definitely helps out this defense. So then that way, and that was for the Los Angeles Rams. It wasn't for the Atlanta. I'm talking about.
Looking at my notes.
Yeah, no, it was. I saw Scooter immediately go. Let me fact check this guy really quick because I'm talking about when he was with Los Angeles as the defensive coordinator. He won a Super Bowl with Sean McVay over there. He kind of helped see McVay build this culture, and I think that he can bring some of that into Atlanta. Now, Atlanta fans, take a sigh of relief, and fantasy football fans, take a sigh of relief because we can finally see these weapons on this offense get used. You have Kyle Pitts. You have Drake London. You have Bijan Robinson, which, dude, that guy just was so underutilized last year. But they have a great offensive line. I think that they have one of the better offensive lines in the league. They have a pretty solid defense overall. And I think that Kirk Cousins is going to do what Kirk Cousins does, and he just wins games. Does he win playoff games? No. Does he win primetime games? No. But luckily for the Atlanta Falcons, they don't get a lot of primetime games. So, I mean, it's a win-win scenario for them. This is where my predictions for this division gets weird. I have the Atlanta Falcons doing the exact same of what I see the New Orleans Saints could do. Worst case scenario, 10-7. Best case scenario, 12-5. They're a good team. I like the Kirk Cousins addition. I think that they can compete. It's an easy division, right? I mean, we all can say that, and they're a team that I want to be surprised if they won this division this year. As a Tampa fan, I'm not going to say that they're going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. No, I'm not going to say it. It's not, no. So, but yeah, I mean, 10-7, 12-5. I think that's for me at least. Now, I mean, I might get shot from you guys, but I think that that's a realistic expectation for the Atlanta Falcons this year.
Oh, Scooter, tell him what. Is he right?
I mean,
this guy's just going to read something that he just copied and pasted from Google, bro. Like, what do we
I actually wrote it down. I used pen and paper. Gosh. I'll get my monocle out for a second. No, the Falcons to me have the biggest room for improvement, and that's what they did this offseason. They went 7-10 last year. Kind of like a wishy-washy team. They didn't know what they wanted to do. Obviously, it wasn't passing the ball because they were 22nd in the league, and then they were 9th in rushing, but they hardly used Bijan Robinson, which pissed off everyone in fantasy and anyone who had, skin in the game there. They were 11th in total defense, 21 in sacks, and then 30th in turnover differential because they lost a lot of games. So They had 17 interceptions from Desmond Ridder and company, 11 fumbles with only 3 lost, 3-3 in the division, in a division that can easily go completely lopsided or not. Is Cousins the answer to what the Falcons need? I think right now, yes. They picked up Penix for a reason. I find it hard to believe that a bunch of billionaires said, I'm going to go pick this guy because I can. And you know what? Penix, to me, looks like an Atlanta fit. I hate to say that too, Dave, but he's legit. And I think he's good to sit behind Kirk Cousins for that mentorship.
Yeah,
I think there's the right mentality in the QB room right now for the Falcons to succeed. 100%. And that I kind of want to throw up saying that, but it's true. Is Robinson's usage going to go up? It better. Otherwise, someone's getting fired. And Radio, their head coach, it hasn't been shown to win games. As a Bucs fan, we watched that dumpster fire, okay? They have Radio playing head coach. He's good as a coordinator. He's just like Todd Bowles. He's good as a coordinator. And that's where I'm going to leave that. Pitts better start catching the dang ball, too.
Wow,
so the Falcons did well in the draft. They got Penix, they got Trice, they got Dorius, they got Bertrand, McClendon. For the running back, if anyone wants to watch some, flex tape, there you go. And then Washington to deepen their wide receiver core because God knows the Falcons got a lot of depth at wide receiver. If you look at the depth chart, they got a ton of it. And their defense, it's all right, but they need, like with everything else in this division, probably minus the Bucs, you need to get after the quarterback and produce some turnovers to get in the positive in the win column. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL. It was like the biggest hand me to a team. They're like, here's a positive record. Go for it. I think the physicality is part of the game there. Kirk Cousins thrives on play action just like Bryce Young will. Penix is similar position because of his Washington career, right? However, the homecoming game for those that are listening for Kirk Cousins to Minnesota is Week 14 at Minnesota. So we will see if he's legit.
Wait, is it prime time? Please tell me it's prime time.
I don't know. I didn't check that far. All I saw was the schedule.
I don't think it is.
No. Either way, it's going to be a pretty cool game, in all honesty, to see two offenses go at it because the defenses we don't know right now. I think the Falcons and the Bucs are going to battle for first place. Either team, and I'm saying this for the Falcons, can go probably 10-7 or 11-6. I'm not saying any team in this division is a 12-win team unless we start seeing a boat race in the second half of the season, to be totally honest. All these teams are in the top 7 or whatever as easiest schedules, but we all know it's the NFL and things just happen. 10-7 for the Falcons, max at 11-6.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I get shot for one more game.
Well, it's also Raheem Morris because they could also go 5-12.
I'm with Scooter. I don't like the Raheem Morris, whether he spent time in LA. I did like that he brought Zach Robinson over. Robinson had a lot of hand in the offense over there in multiple roles. So they're getting modernized. And that's what I think that the Falcons did the best is they modernized that offense. With Cousins, and then they Drake London and Kyle Pitts I think Kyle Pitts is, if he doesn't break out this year, I don't think it's ever going to happen for him. I think this is like his time. I think he's going to benefit the most from Kirk Cousins. But they bring in Darnell Mooney from the Bears. I like Mooney. He just playing with Fields. That guy can get down the field. I do like him. They get Rondale Moore, a nice little slot guy for them in the middle on there. And like David, like you said, their O-line it's probably top 5, man. It is a good O-line, man. They're going to be strong there, which they're going to need. I don't know how Cousin comes back from the injury, but one thing I know about Cousin, that dude is a tough dude, man. He got beat up in Minnesota year after year, and he is a tough dude. I go back and forth with a draft pick. Did they make a mistake? Because I think Dallas Turner helps their defense immediately, and they needed it badly. Like, their defense it's not great. It's okay. I think the corners are good, and they do well in some areas, but they really needed that guy off the edge, man. But if they're taking the stance of the Packers and the Penix gets to sit for 2 or 3 years, and then but that's a pick down the road. And I still think it's a little bit of a. I would have took Dallas Turner. I would have taken the chance to have the opportunity to take this division. I think it's a big piece, but I get it. I mean, can't argue with them taking a quarterback that he's going to learn from a good quarterback. And Kirk Cousins does win regular season games, but he just can't win playoff games. So, man, they're a tough team for me to score here, man. I don't think there's a team in this division that I look at and is like, ooh, that's a scary team. We got to watch out. I got them at 10-7. I think that's where they're going to be at, and but I think they're heading in the right direction. I just don't. I'm with Scooter. I do not like Raheem Morris as head coach. He is not a good head coach. I think he's 21 and like 38. He's not good. It's not. He's a defensive coordinator, and some guys just know that, hey, you're a coordinator. You're just, some people aren't built to be head coaches, and he's one of them. But maybe he proves us wrong. Who knows? I doubt it, but I got him at 10-7.
Yeah. I think the funniest story that came out from Atlanta this offseason was that Kirk Cousins, the quarterback that they signed, whistle blew against his new team, saying like, hey, that these guys like talked with me in the tampering period, right? I just wanted to put that out there. It's just like, what are we doing, Kirk? You just got the absolute bag, and you just went on. He just has those morals and those values. So,
yeah.
But it should be an interesting, it should be an interesting year. I think that they are the team to watch in the NFC South as far as to compete for the top spot.